New details about Spider-Man 2 including the game's length, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be longer than Remake, new documents on the Microsoft vs FTC case finally show the real fate of Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation, and Unity backtracks on their install policy, sort of. All that and more in today's PlayStation news, let's get to them. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is just around the corner and Insomniac Games is flexing their muscles when it comes to graphical fidelity in the sequel. The game will offer multiple performance options on PS5 including 30, 40 and 60 FPS, each with varying levels of visual quality and resolution. Notably, all of these configurations will include ray tracing, even at 60 FPS, ensuring impressive visuals throughout the game. According to Director of Core Technology Mike Fitzgerald, ray tracing is a baseline performance mode in the game, and there won't be an option to turn it off, as they have optimized it to deliver the desired Spider-Man visuals to every player. The previous two Insomniac games had ray tracing in quality mode and a 60 FPS performance option without it. Then they introduced a performance ray tracing mode that enabled both 60 FPS and ray tracing while giving up resolution. It's great to know the studio now has the technical know-how to keep ray tracing at all performance levels. In related news, Ryan Smith, Senior Game Director at Insomniac Games, revealed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will have a similar length to the original game, which was approximately 25 hours long. Insomniac's focus is on making each mission a memorable experience rather than creating an 80 to 100 hour game. They aim to deliver epic moments and deeper storytelling, and integrate that into the overall narrative. Additionally, the game's associate animation director mentioned that players may encounter the other Spider-Man while swinging through New York City. This adds an interesting dynamic where players may spot Miles or Peter in action as they explore the map. Sony's newest PS5 system software update introduced several changes last week, including some hidden ones. Notably, the PS5 Accolades feature, which had been announced for removal over a year ago, has now disappeared from the console following the firmware update. Previously, the PS5 user profile page displayed trophies, accolades, the number of games in the library, and the number of friends. After the update, the accolades section has been replaced with a display of the top 3 most played games and the number of hours players have invested in them. It remains to be seen if Sony has improved its gameplay time counter, which has been known for inaccuracies, usually becoming apparent when the company sends out annual player stats emails at the end of the year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was showcased during Sony's recent State of Play along with its release date, and Square has now detailed how much of the overall story the game covers, like spoilers for the original. According to a director roundtable detailed on the PlayStation blog, the game's story will span the events right after Remake and up until the events of the Forgotten Capital in the original, diverging from the original's plot. Players will have the freedom to explore locations in a different sequence, and iconic places like Wutai will be featured in the game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth promises almost 100 hours of gameplay, including side stories, minigames and challenging foes, which is a lot more than Remake, clocking at around 86 hours for completionists. It's worth noting that Rebirth is a standalone title, but a twin pack with the previous entry is available for those interested, but only during pre-order. The game launches for PS5 on February 29, 2024, and it will be a 3-month time exclusive. New documents in the FTC vs Microsoft case have confirmed that Elder Scrolls 6 won't launch until at least 2026 and won't be available on PlayStation. The game will be exclusive to Microsoft platforms like Xbox and PC, aligning with the company's strategy for providing a complete gaming experience in their ecosystem. This info is part of a broader set of details revealed during the case, including Microsoft plans for cloud gaming and exclusivity of other Bethesda titles like Starfield and an Indiana Jones game. Back during the trial, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, said the game was at least 5 years out and platforms were yet to be decided. The new documentation also shed some light on how competitive are companies on the way to launching a new console, as internal emails from the FTC vs Microsoft case revealed Microsoft closely tracked Sony's PS5 announcements. They compare PS5 and Xbox Series X specs, noting differences like SSD performance in Sony's favor, but emphasizing Xbox's higher teraflops 12 vs 10. Sony's audio innovations were briefly mentioned, and both had similar expandable storage solutions, though Sony allowed the use of regular SSDs, while Xbox had proprietary options. Another chain of emails also revealed the reaction to the PS5 price hike, with Xbox CFO Tim Stewart talking with Phil Spencer and Amy Hood on how they anticipated that and could move toward a plan after being confirmed. After facing a huge backlash, Unity stated they would make changes to the runtime policy that charges developers for user installs of their games. Despite that, some developers remain skeptical, since it doesn't seem to be a total scrap of what was a terrible move by the company, and it's going to be hard for them to trust again. The quote-unquote reversal comes after a dozen developers turned off Unity ads, giving up those profits to make an impact. Unity will share the updated policy in a few days, but after an all-hands-on meeting yesterday, the change doesn't seem that positive for developers. According to Bloomberg, the changes limit fees to 4% of a game's revenue over $1 million, installation count for the fee won't be retroactive, and won't be tracked by Unity tools but instead self-reported by developers. Unity CEO John Riccitello said during the meeting that it was a massive transformational change to their business model, and that he didn't think there was a version of this that would have gone differently than what happened. Now time for some quick-fire gaming news. Respawn Entertainment has fixed long-standing matchmaking issues in Titanfall's 2 multiplayer, updated playlists, and made changes to weapons in the 1 vs 1 Coliseum mode. A cryptic message then appeared in Apex Legends patch notes, listing Unix time dates for Titanfall releases, which has led to speculation about Titanfall 3. However, Respawn has not confirmed this, leaving room for the possibility of a Titanfall theme map in Apex Legends. Titanfall 3 remains uncertain as Respawn has not ruled it out, but stated it's not currently in development. 2 major game updates are approaching. Cyberpunk 2077's 2.0 patch arrives on September 21st, coinciding with Baldur's Gate 3's 3rd patch. Details of the patch remain undisclosed, with developer Larian Studios committed to maintaining patch parity between PC and PS5. Hopefully it resolves performance issues present on both platforms, given the developer's track record of improving technical aspects in previous updates. Capcom has unveiled the launch trailer for Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways DLC, set to release on September 21st for $10. The DLC follows Ada Wong's mission alongside the main campaign, offering new scenes, boss battles, and intriguing interactions with characters like Luis Serra and Albert Wesker. Simultaneously, on the same day, a free update for Mercenaries mode introduces both Albert Wesker and Ada Wong as playable characters. Dredge's 3rd free update brings eerie new content. Players can customize their boats through a new character and hunt for 13 twisted crustaceans, unlocking more customization options. Developed by Black Salt Games and published by Team 17, Dredge is a game where players take on the role of a fisherman in Greater Marrow, facing strange events. Previous updates added features like a passive mode and photo mode. Marvel's Avengers had a significant price drop before its delisting later this month. The definitive edition, featuring all expansions, heroes, and most outfits, is now as low as $4 on most platforms, including PlayStation. Crystal Dynamics will snap official support for the game on September 30 with no new content or features. The game will be removed from digital stores, but single and multiplayer modes will still be available. TMNT Shredder's Revenge is getting an anniversary edition physical copy for PS4, PS5 and Switch, including the Dimension Shellshock DLC. While the base game had a physical release, this marks the first time the DLC is on there as well. It's set to release on November 17th for $54.95 or equivalent in your region, available at major retailers and for pre-order at Signature Edition games. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Let us know in the comments below, give this video a thumbs up or down to let me know your feedback, check out more content you may like as well, and subscribe for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!